Yo, what's going on, man? Happy Friday. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. I'm trying to bring the energy because I'm so tired, man. It's been a long week. Long week grinding with my son, man. Just me and my son this week, and mom is finally back. So all will be restored to normal. Get back to my regular sleeping pattern. Get back to my regular capping style for far as the capping schedule. And things should kind of get back to normal, man. I'm so excited for that because I'm tired. Like I said, I'm tired. So I'm going to try to bring the energy today. We are back at normal slotted time. There's 7 games to go through, a bunch of heavy favorites. Don't really enjoy the card too much. Was looking at it last night. Was like, this all looks kind of gross. Unless you want to take one of these dogs that potentially, could get smoked. And it's a couple dogs I'm looking at. But I think I woke up this morning and I started handicapping player props. So we'll jump into it. Yesterday, just one play that I ended up going official with, which was the Portland team total up and over. This was predicated off the Sacramento Kings giving up the opponent team total going up and over every single game. I think it was like 11-0 with the with the Sacramento Kings unrested this season or at the rest disadvantage. And Portland won the game last night, so the +2 is easy, which we talked about on the stream from night before. But they ended up with just 108 points, I think. Still won the game, so that ended up being a loser. It was a bunch of winners I gave out yesterday. I really just I just get so busy during the day that I end up not putting the bets in. So I got to do a better job of that. Dallas +10.5 was a winner, easy winner. They won the game outright. Porzingis did cash his first quarter points. Houston first quarter was right. Houston first half was also right. Minnesota won the full game as I projected. And the Clippers actually came out hot. And then first quarter was good money. And then the Pacers said, hold my beer, man. We're not losing this game. And they came all the way back, ended up having a big fourth quarter and winning that game. That was surprising to me as well. But that's the quick recap. We'll go through a couple comments as we always do. Feels good to be back in the live stream, man. And then we'll jump into the 7 games that we got on the board for today. What up to my guy, Jacob? What up, Jacob? Gina says, good morning, Chris and crew. Cashed on Dallas, Boston over. She took Minnesota on the money line, Golden State and Lakers over, and Portland on the money line. So nice day, Gina. I'm glad you cashed. What's up, Christian? Appreciate you. Jeremy, appreciate the dono. Definitely appreciate that. What up, Rick? This morning, people. Good Friday. Let's get paid. GLB Bets is Chris back in the building. What up, GLB? Hope all is well, bro. Top of the morning to you. What's up, Fear Elite? Says we back with the morning show. Yeah, we back, man. What's up, Hyman Brinks? Helping hands in here as well. Morning, Jax. This morning from England. Appreciate you tapping in all the way from across the world, Jack. DJ Props. How about them Lakers? Lake Show. Hey, man, I'm scared to bet them, but it's nice to watch them. I see him get a 20-point, 25-point lead last night against Golden State. And I went to sleep. Didn't even stay up and watch the rest of the game, but I'm glad to see him get the win, man. They're playing really inspiring basketball right now. Interested to see what happens when Luka gets on the floor with him. The offense should get better. And shout out to Bron, man. Shout out to Bron. 14, 15 rebounds last night. No ADs. Like, all right, cool. I'll grab all the boards. I got it. Golden State's not a great rebounding team anyway. I mean, they give it up. So, yeah, shout out to my Lakers, man. Getting the job done for sure. I might even be able to, start wearing some gear again. What up, PZ? Says top of the morning. We back live again. Good morning, Andrew. Yeah. My son was he was happy, man. We got to have we call it Dadder Day. I read him a book called Dadder Day. Well, used to read him a book called Dadder Day. Where you just spend the day with your dad. So my son, we've been kicking it, man. Been kicking it, not even thinking too much about sports betting. I think about it when I'm looking at it and I'm capping the games, I'm doing shows, but recently it's just been, just spend time with little man. Good morning, Miranda. So if you're not in the Discord, Miranda is absolutely on a tear. I don't know how many units she's up, but she has been handing out plays and they've been cashing left and right. She's been putting them together a little bit, playing them straight. She's been absolutely money. So appreciate you and your contributions, Miranda. She said she had the Pacers money line yesterday. Put that as the underdog in the group yesterday. Yeah, like it. What's up, Kim? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Tasha. What up, Marquise? Let's jump into it for today. CG in here as well. CG3 in here. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it for today. Like I said, some bunch of big spreads. We'll start off with jaXon as we always do. I actually got a different prompt for jaXon today. Something I haven't done before. I actually asked jaXon, what is the best total bet in the NBA today? So no idea where jaXon's going to take me. It looks like it says, oh, okay. So this is one I was looking at too. So it says, for today's NBA slate, the best total bet is the under 211.5 in the game between the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets. Here's why. So it makes me a nice little chart as always. It says has the lines, what the best odds are on the best book. And again, check this out if you're interested. Use the promo code in the description. It'll get you 50% off when you start. So it says low total line. So at 211.5, this is the lowest total on the board today, reflecting the defensive nature of both teams. The Heat and Nets rank among the slower paced teams in the league, which limits scoring opportunities. Brooklyn struggles. So the Nets are averaging just 107.5 points per game, 27th in the NBA, and have struggled offensively, especially against strong defensive teams like the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat's defense. So the Heat are known for their defensive prowess, allowing just 108.4 points per game, 5th in the NBA. They excel at controlling the pace and forcing opponents into tough shots. Then you got recent trends. Both teams have been involved in low-scoring games recently. The Heat's last 5 games have averaged under 210 points, while the Nets have failed to score more than 110 in 4 of their last 5 games. So then you got betting trends. The under has been profitable in playing games involving these two teams. With the Heat defensive focus and the Nets offensive struggles, this matchup is prime for another low-scoring affair. So recommendation, under 211.5. Reasoning, the combination of Miami's elite defense, Brooklyn's offensive struggles, and the slow pace make the under a strong bet here. And I actually agree with this. I agree a lot with it. We'll talk about it when we get there, but I think that's a very, very solid look today is the under between the Brooklyn Nets and the Miami Heat. I know in my notes I got that both games have actually been gone under so far this season as well. I know Cam Johnson wasn't a part of at least the last one, but I know the total is moving north. I would be looking towards the under in that game too. But let's jump into it for today. So first up, we got the San Antonio Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets. I probably do need to change some of these lines because I made the graphics last night. So this total is moving north, right? It's up to 227.5. It looks like now. So injury report, which injury reports are going to be wonky, man. That's one of the reasons I don't really like the slate today either. You got some guys that I'm not sure if they're going to, play or not. So for the San Antonio Spurs, we did see De'Aaron Fox make his season debut against Atlanta. He of course is going to be out there or should be out there. And then for Charlotte, they traded away Nick Richards and, bought in Dalton Connect. I'm guessing he's going to play. I'm not sure. They also traded for Nurkic. Not sure if he's going to be available quite yet either. I would guess no, but I'm not sure. LaMelo, they traded away so many players. LaMelo got to come back and play basketball. LaMelo has actually been upgraded to questionable with that ankle injury after missing the last 5 games. So LaMelo could come back. If LaMelo comes back, it makes sense that the total is going up, right? That's the way that I would look. It's probably a little bit more towards the over with LaMelo on the floor. Without LaMelo on the floor, I think it's a clear under spot. So this is the first matchup of the season. You got a San Antonio team that won their first game with De'Aaron Fox, but they did not cover that number against the Atlanta Hawks. They only 3-7 straight up in their last 10 games. 3-7 straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. They're 8-2 to the over. This is the third of at least a 6-game road trip for them. First leg of a back-to-back. They got a game against the Orlando Magic tomorrow in Orlando. And the Charlotte Hornets have been putrid. We know that. 2-8 straight up, 5-4-1 against the number, though. They have been covering. And this is the last game of an 8-game homestand for Charlotte. The thing that jumped out to me, if we go over to Moneyballer, and I don't know how much this applies if LaMelo does come back, but I do want to just share my screen really quickly and go over to Moneyballer. So there's a link in the description where you can check out Moneyballer. If you're interested, you can get 50% off your first month. If you're interested in this software that I use, shout out to my guy RC and A Wang. Did a really good job of creating this. So this is Moneyballer. You can see Spurs, Hornets. It looks like Spurs. I talked about this first leg of back-to-back. They got Orlando tomorrow. Couple baller systems on them. Says take the Spurs here. I don't know if I could quite do that. But the line is, I think, it's not really moving their favor. It's 11.5. I think it's too many points, honestly. But I could be wrong. So this is what I'm looking at, though. The over-under numbers here. Look at Charlotte as a home dog. 20-5 to the under if they're a home dog. 19-5-1 to the under if they're a home dog in the first half. And I did some digging on this. So in those games where they're a home dog, their games are averaging 213 points. So this 20-5 to the under, they're 13-5. This 20-5 to the under for the full game for the Hornets when they're a home dog, they're averaging just 213 points. This total is 228. And of course, it's that high because San Antonio's offense is supposed to be so much better with Fox. And I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying that this is a strong under trend. They're also 6-0 to the under if the total is greater than 225. So if LaMelo doesn't play, I'll be running to the window to take this under here. They're also Charlotte's actually 5-1 against the number in this spot with a total of 225 or higher as well. So Charlotte covers these numbers when the total is a little bit higher, and the games definitely go under. But like I said, we got to see if LaMelo is going to play. So that's my thought process on the game. I'm not laying that many points with the San Antonio Spurs, though. I know I'm not doing that. And I know Charlotte's depleted. I want to kind of see what their full roster is going to look like. I also want to go over to Outlier really quickly. Just real quick. It's a prop that I kind of like in this game. And I'm not expecting a lot of people to like this one. But I was watching that game. Watching that first game between Atlanta and San Antonio. And I'm looking at Wemby. I'm looking at his assists, right? I like the under on Wemby's assist today. The number is 3.5 right now. And it's actually one of my favorite prop bets. I think that I haven't made it yet, but it's one of my favorite prop bets on the board for today. So if you had a chance to watch the game the other day, I mean, you just go back and look at the data too. Wemby only had 2 assists. You can see that right here, right? And this is Outlier. 7-day free trial link in the description if you're interested in checking out Outlier. So Wemby's last 10 games, he's only over the 3.5 assists in 4 of the 10 games. So it's already a pretty bad hit rate for him, right? You can see the potentials are right here, right? We come down here, you see supporting data. Potential assists, he's averaging 5.2 over his last 10 games, right? On the full season, you can see that he's averaging 6.8. So what that tells me is that full season, Wemby has been passing the ball a lot more than he has over the last 10 games because the potentials have dropped, right? Then I'm thinking about this, right? So he had 2 assists and he had 5 potential against the Atlanta Hawks in that last game. So now you add CP3 and now you add CP3. You still got CP3 and you add De'Aaron Fox to the team. I think that Wemby's going to have a lot less usage in general, specifically as a playmaker, in my opinion. I think he's going to be more of a scorer. You see his points prop, 25.5. That's a pretty high number for Victor Wembanyama. I'm not saying that he can't get there, but 25.5. He's only actually hit the number in 3 of his last 10 games. But I mean, it feels like they're relying on him to be much more of a scorer. Not that Fox can't score the ball, but here's the other part of the cap. With Fox and CP3, Wemby's not going to pass the ball that much, in my opinion. I feel like he's going to be more of a scorer. So when I looked at this, Atlanta, like I said, just held him to 5 potential assists. He only converted 2. Now he gets a slower paced Charlotte team, especially if LaMelo doesn't play. Fox had 13 assists on 19 potential against Atlanta last game. And CP3 had 9 assists on 9 potential. So I like Victor Wembanyama to stay under his 3.5 assists. To me, the way I kind of, think about sports, I just don't think that Wemby's going to be out there facilitating. So that's the handicap for me. I like Wemby to stay under his 3.5 assists today. I think it's a pretty sharp look, man. I do think it's a pretty sharp look. I have not bet it yet, but I think it's a really good look today. I'll go through comments really, really quickly, and then we'll get on to game number 2. Try to be efficient with our time today. What up to my guy, Justin? What up, Stacks? J-Man says, yo. What up, gang? What up, J-Man? What else we seeing in the chat about this game specifically? What up, Sean? Says, good morning, family. It's good to see you back. Yeah, good to see you in here as well, Sean. Hope you have a great day, my brother. Let's see. Smith says, yeah, it might be an NHL type of night for him. So Justin likes Fox to go up and over his assists at 8 for plus 108. I don't think it's gonna be Wemby, man. I do not think it's gonna be Wemby, at least based on what we saw so far. What up, Ken? Appreciate you for tapping in. Tasha says, I'm leaning on the dogs. Let's see. Vario says, discovered you of Cal shows. Glad I tuned in. Every day now I tune in to your stuff every morning. Chris and Cal and Ski to Ghost. Yeah, man, I love that crew, man, because we can have fun. Like I genuinely love being on the show with Cal. I love doing the shows with Ski too, because he brings a different type of energy to the show. He's so funny, and Cal is funny too, and they're all funny in their own right. Prop Beaver, I love everything that Cal has going on. over at the Sauce Network, man. Really, really enjoy that. So I appreciate you, Vario, for tapping in and coming over here, checking out my shows, hear me rant about basketball. What's up, Brian? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Hope all is well on the West Coast with you. Good morning, Nayeli. Shout out to VA. She says, been a minute. She got a sweep last night. Love to hear that. GLB dropping out some NHL bets, best bets. What up, dropping dimes? Yeah, so I don't sound like nobody like my Wemby assist under, but yeah, I'm rocking with my Wemby assist under, just haven't placed it yet. Let's go to the next game. We got the Cavs and the Wizards. What do we have here? We got the Cavs and the Wizards, man. So Cleveland is laying a hefty 17 points as a road favorite in this game. This line is up to 17.5 on some books. Total did open 234.5. It is up. It's actually 236 now, so money's coming in on the over here, and that I mean I could go through the whole handicap, but I like over if I'm playing the game, specifically a Cleveland team total over. I'm not sure how much Washington is going to contribute. When you got to look at the injury report here, right? So Cleveland, it will probably not be with DeAndre Hunter, I'm guessing. So they made the last second trade yesterday, of course, to get DeAndre Hunter and trade out Karis LeVert. And who else did they trade out? Was it Gorgeous Niang? Somebody else, I think, that was included in that trade. So you still got a bunch of scores, in my opinion, to be able to get the job done for Cleveland. Not the greatest situational spot. It is third game in 4 nights, fourth game in 6 for the Cavs. But I've seen them in a fifth game in 7 nights drop 140 on the Atlanta Hawks. A couple, I think it was last week, matter of fact. So no Dean Wade, no Isaac Okoro. I think Sam Merrill's out. Not sure if DeAndre Hunter's going to be there. And the Washington Wizards, the scary Washington Wizards, have actually won 3 straight games in a row, man. So first 3-game winning streak for them of the season. They've actually covered 3 straight. Last game, first game back home off a 3-game road trip, I think, for the Wizards. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Hawks coming to town tomorrow as well. So when I went back and looked at it, the series between the Cavs and the Wizards have typically been under series. The Cavs dominate them and the games go under. I think we took a team total under for the Wizards earlier this season when they played, but the Cavs have actually beaten the Wizards 11 straight times. They beat them twice already this season, so you got double in-season revenge for the Wizards. Not sure what that means. And both of the games have actually gone under. But when I was just looking into this, based on Moneyballer, I think Cavs first half team total over, first full game team total over at 125.5 to kind of stay away from this spread. I know the Wizards have been playing a little bit more defense, but we got to remember they just kind of blew their team up too. Now, does Chris Middleton play today? Does Marcus Smart play today? I'm not sure. Does Alex Len play today? Like, Star's already been ruled out. There's no Valanciunas, so I'm not sure who's going to protect the rim. Rashad Holmes not going to do it. I know that much. Should be an absolute feast for Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. We know both of these teams play top 5 pace. So that's the way that I'll be looking in this game, is just full game. Specifically Cleveland team total up and over, first half, full game, first quarter. I think they should be able to score against this Wizards team at will in this spot. And if I'm looking at a player prop, we'll go back over to Outlier really quickly. There is one that I have that I'm looking at here as well. I haven't pulled the trigger on this yet either, because I just haven't played any player props. I did all my player prop work this morning. Didn't lock any of these in yet. So I'm looking at Mr. Donovan Mitchell, who should be the most rested Cleveland Cavalier, right? He didn't play in that game when they played Detroit the other day. So looking at Donovan Mitchell, I mean, you can see how green this is. It's lit up like a Christmas tree. It's just a little bit of red, but he's up and over his assist prop in 8 of his last 10 games, including 8 straight. He's gotten 6 plus assists. You can see that, he's averaging 9 potential assists here. So if we zoom out to the full season, you can see that on the full season, he's only averaging 8.4. So he's averaging more potential. And when I was doing some deep diving on this one this morning, the thing that jumped out to me was he's over. So you look at you start taking in some of the factors, right? So 7 of his 10 games this season where he's played against a team that's top 10 in pace and bottom 10 in assists allowed. We know that the Washington Wizards give up, I think they're bottom 5 in assists allowed. Yeah, right here. Actually 6th in assists allowed. So, and they also, what are they in pace? 6th in pace. Well, hold on, my fault. Pace factor, switch this around. Offense, pace factor, fourth. So they're fourth in pace. So if it's a team that allows if they're bottom 10 in assist allowed and top 10 in pace, he's actually gone up and over in 7 straight games. He's had right at 6 assists in every single one of these games. It's not showing this data here, but yeah, Donovan Mitchell assists, I think, is a really good look. I think in these games where, they're supposed to blow teams out, he just kind of worry about, making sure his other teammates look good. So I do expect Donovan Mitchell to be out there diamond. You can see that he's been covering his assist prop. So I do like Donovan Mitchell assist as well. Not looking towards the Wizards today, even though I know that they've covered a couple games in a row. It's not what I want to put my money on today. Not the ugly dog I want. Let's see. What up, Rain Bean? Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, Ski, my guy, man. I love Ski. Love Ski to death. Taylor says he likes Donovan Mitchell under his 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists, just a system play. Games the Cavs won by 10 plus. He's under in 20 of his 28 games, only averaging 29 minutes in those games, and this could potentially be a blowout. The spread indicates that. So I could see that, Taylor. I think the assists go over. Probably the points go under. I would want to see what the points prop is for Donovan Mitchell today, and potentially be looking at his points prop to go under. I think that could be a good look. I feel like he won't need to score. 26 is where he's listed at right now. I could see him going under that number. I don't think he needs 26 points tonight, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Christian says taking the plus 17. Wizards been rolling. Okay, don't let me talk you off. I would not be on that side though. Brian says that Wizards first quarter at home been a good look. It is a big number Cleveland got it covered by, but when I was looking into Moneyballer, a lot of things suggested and pointed in the direction of taking the Wizards, taking the Cleveland Cavaliers first half over, first half team total over, all that. What up, Anthony? Appreciate you for rocking with me and tapping in this morning. Dante says lots of trades for the Wizards. Who even in the lineup? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Naeli says, give me the Wizards plus 17 Cavs first half full game. Okay. What up, Jose? Cavs win by 15-16. I think they win by 28-29. Naeli say, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I didn't bet the spread. Didn't bet the spread. I couldn't talk Marquise off this look though. Mobley over his points prop. I think. So in all seriousness, the trade for the Wizards, I think it made them a much smaller team because you don't have Valanciunas out there anymore, and Alex Sarr is now gone. So to me, that just means more pace. You're not gonna slow the game down when you got Rashad Holmes at center. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing with Rashad Holmes at center? They Cleveland should be able to eat in this game. So team total over for me. The Wizards have been scoring, Ryan, so I'm not necessarily going to talk you off of this. I just didn't play it because the Wizards have been scoring a little bit more. Without Kuzma, some of those guys that they traded away, I think their offense is still going to be very inefficient. Like, I would potentially be looking towards the team total under. I think they're 19-6 to the team total under as a home dog. So don't let me talk you off, but I didn't play it. I think I like the Cavs team total over more than I like the Wizards team total under. And hopefully that makes sense. Next game. We got the Bucks and the Hawks. Line open 5 is now sitting at 6.5. The total is only going north. This is actually so this is 6.5, and total is up to 241.5. So we got 241.5. And this is another really, I think, pretty simple game here. So we'll start with the injury report. We got contacts at draft for some reason. We got the Bucks. They do have a couple guys on the injury report listed as questionable. Damian Lillard is probable. I think Brook Lopez is probable as well. And then I had in my notes that Giannis is questionable. I see Giannis in though. I don't see a tag on Giannis right now. But in my notes, based on Underdog yesterday, I wrote down Giannis being questionable. So on the Atlanta side, and then they also got Kyle Kuzma, right? Not sure if he's gonna make his debut or not. You kind of got to wait for that news. But yeah, they pulled off the trade, and poor Chris Middleton sent the guy to Washington, man, to play basketball. But I mean, he's definitely not poor financially. But boy, if money can't buy you happiness, then Chris Middleton's the sad guy today. But anyway, Atlanta, Trae Young listed as more probable, and they do have Karis LeVert now, Gorgeous Niang, Clint Capella's already been rolled out. Not sure if those guys are going to play in this one. If they don't, they also got Bones Highland from Cleveland because they made a couple trades throughout yesterday, and I don't know. Atlanta, we talked about this last week. I should have probably just took their team total under as soon as Jalen Johnson got hurt. I think it's a fire sale now. They're really just trying to develop their young talent. Guys like Ricochet, I think, are going to get a lot of minutes. Dyson Daniels, who's been playing really, really well for them, is going to continue to get a lot of minutes as well. I'm not sure what to do with this game. I know I'm not laying points with the Bucks though. Like, that's not what I'm gonna do. Atlanta has still been covering. They only won in 9 straight up, but they've covered 5 of their last 6 games, 4 straight. First leg of back-to-back with the Wizards tomorrow. I still kind of lean towards the over, even though this total is going up, and I like to get the best of the number. You could kind of go through and look at the seasonal matchups with both, teams haven't played already twice. Atlanta 1-1, Milwaukee 1-1. Both games did go under the totals, but Atlanta is a one-way ticket for me right now. It's over and nothing. And the Bucks have been playing pretty poorly. 1-4 straight up, 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games. Last of a 3-game road trip. They played 7 of their last 8 games on the road too, so they've done a lot of traveling. I think it's team total over for the Bucks. Not laying this many points with the Bucks on the road. They have not been profitable against the spread, laying points on the road. And I understand wanting to fade Atlanta. Like, I get that. They traded DeAndre Hunter. They traded Bogdanovich for the rebuild. They just gonna be out there playing basketball, man. So the prop that I like in this game is actually Giannis. His assist prop, 5.5 is juiced, I think, at like -145. But I mean, you look at Atlanta. This team, like I said, is only playing one way, and the Bucks, they can play that way. They can play fast. I think this is gonna be a fast-paced game, up and down the floor. Looking at Atlanta defensively, they've kind of fallen off a cliff recently. Last 5 games, they are 24th in defensive rating, number 1 in pace. You love to see that if you like his assists. So against teams that's bottom 10 in assists allowed, which the Atlanta Hawks are, Giannis is up and over his 5.5 assists in 8 of his 13 games, averaging 6.5 assists, and he's over in 4 of his last 5 games as well. The Hawks should probably have to double team him a lot with the lack of size that they have now. No Capella, I mentioned that. Okongwu is not going to be able to get the job done. So I think Giannis is going to have a high assist usage in this game. If you factor in pace, which the Hawks are second on the full season, number 1 last 5 games, just look at teams that's top 10 in pace in general. Not even that playing that fast, but top 10 in pace that also are bottom 10 in assists allowed. Giannis has played those teams 5 times. He's hit the number over 3 of those games, averaging 7.6 assists in this game. One of those games actually came against the Hawks. He had 9 assists earlier. Another one came against the Hawks. He finished with just 5, but he had just 11 potentials in that game. So I like Giannis' assists in this game, over 5.5 if I had to play anything. Probably wait on the injury news and not laying points with the Milwaukee Bucks right now on the road. And also lean towards the over. But I didn't bet any of it. That's just my thoughts of how I'm looking at that game. Let's see. Giannis 30.5 for Jalen. Taylor likes Brook Lopez to hit 2 threes. Says without Middleton on the floor, he's averaging 4 3-point attempts. With Middleton off the floor, he's averaging 5.92. So almost 6 3-point attempts per 36 minutes. And the Hawks rank 30th in threes allowed versus teams 15th for worse. He's over in 12 of his 17 games. So definitely can see Brook Lopez hitting 2 threes. I like that look a lot from Taylor. What's up, Adam? Appreciate you for tapping in. Naeli says she'll take the Hawks +7. She says Trey will go off tonight, taking his points, rebounds, and assists over. Okay. Yeah, Trey, I didn't play it, but the over 10.5 assist cash in the third quarter in the last game. So Kappa Trap says Atlanta covers, don't overthink it. The reason why I didn't play Atlanta is because I need to see, I feel like they shook the lineup up a lot yesterday. Like, they're going to have a lot of this. I think it's going to be the same starting lineup, right? But, I mean, do we know if Karis LeVert and Trey Mann and Gorgeous Niang and Bones Howland are going to play? This second unit, could look a lot different. That's the reason why I didn't play it. But Atlanta is the preferred side, in my opinion. Brian also likes Atlanta. What's up, Keith? Since last time Giannis played this team, Trae Young said, oh, he did. Okay. Told him be quiet. He says, give me Giannis points. Okay. Like that. What's up, Coach? Appreciate you for tapping in. Ryan says, I kind of like the under in this one. Weird as it sounds. I mean, if you don't know what kind of continuity and rhythm Atlanta's going to be in, I guess that makes sense. I can't bet Bucks unders, though, on the road. I talked about this earlier this week for the Bucks. They are just complete night and day differently defensively, home versus road. On the road, they are They're 23rd in defensive rating on the road. They have a 117 defensive rating at home. Top 10. They're 7th in defensive rating, 109. So this is two completely different defenses. I can't take it under, and that is for that reason, Ryan. But I hope you cash it if you take it. GLB says Milwaukee is 1-0 to the over with a total of 240 or higher, while Atlanta is 9-1-1 to the over. It's over. It's over or nothing. Over or nothing. Yeah, let's see. Everyone be careful. Some of these stars' favorites are looking towards the All-Star break, especially this Sunday. Yeah, I agree with that. Mark says he got in on the over last night. Good job beating the market mark at 239.5. Like it. Just like I said, the only hesitation is what is the continuity? Does Atlanta not, miss any, steam at all because they've traded, pretty much the whole bench? We'll see, man. And so next game up, we got the Heat and the Nets. Nets are getting 6.5 points as a home dog here. This line is actually being pushed to 7 now on most books. And the total moved from 210 up to 211.5. So go injury report first. Maybe the Miami Heat actually start playing, some pretty good basketball now that they don't have Jimmy Butler there anymore. Do we know if Wiggins is going to play? I'm not sure. Him, Davion Mitchell now on the team as well. Kyle Anderson now on the team as well. They also got Kevin Love listed as game time decision. Jovic listed as game time decision. Hayward Highsmith listed as game time decision. So you got a lot going on there with the Miami Heat side of things. The Brooklyn Nets didn't make any trades towards the end of the deadline. They did get Cam Johnson back in that last game, and they did go over in that last game against the Wizards as well. They actually got steamrolled in that game by the Washington Wizards, interestingly enough, with them laying 5.5 points in that spot. So what I had in my notes here was just went over the injury report. So third matchup of the season. One of the things that populated in my systems was double in-season revenge. So the Miami Heat have actually beaten the Brooklyn Nets twice already this season. They actually covered both of the games as well. I think they were laying 7 in Brooklyn a few weeks ago. And I think they won the game by like 8, or they were laying 6.5 and won by 7. Both of the totals have actually gone under as well. They were very close to this total. 210.5 were the two totals early this season. They both went under. The totals between these two teams in the last 10 matchups are 7-3 to the under. Now, Miami, they've been just back and forth, seesaw type of team, alternating between wins and losses 5 straight games now. I leaned heavily in their direction against Philly the other day. It was a bad spot for Philly. Miami went into Philly on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel and won that game outright. They are just 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 games, though, after beating Philly 2 nights ago. And this is third game in 4 nights for them as well. The Brooklyn Nets, 3-7 straight up, 5-5 against the number in their last 10 games. They'd actually won 3 in a row before losing to the Wizards by 17 as a 5.5-point favorite. They're also 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. So when you look, when I'll talk a little bit about the side, because I kind of want to take Brooklyn plus the points here. And it's really just predicated off teams, like I said, having double in-season revenge, and they're rested, and they're home dogs. They're actually 12-5-1 against the number this season. So that's 70.6%. I know it's a pretty small sample, but these teams, and it's actually populated for the Wizards too. Teams that have double in-season revenge, and they're not playing on the second leg of a back-to-back, and they're a home dog. In the third game, they covered 12-5-1 against the number. And they're just at home. They cover as well. I think it's a bigger sample size, something like 11, like 19-11. So that made me look towards Brooklyn. I think, with them having, everybody back, I don't want to lay this big of a number. Miami in a pick'em type game, yes, I'll take them. Like I probably should have took them against Philly last game, but laying, 3 possessions, I don't really like it as much. I think Brooklyn will be motivated. Coach Fernando had a team ready to go, especially after losing by 17 as a 5.5-point favorite against the Washington Wizards. So Brooklyn first quarter, that's been something that's been profitable. Getting Cam Johnson back now. Only way I'm looking is towards Brooklyn. I don't want anything to do with the Miami Heat. And then as far as the total, and the other thing I'll say is about the total, I like the under. Both of these teams have 2 days of rest after this game, which means that they can give a little bit more effort on the defensive end. So I do like under 211.5. We know Brooklyn plays slow. I think they're last in pace, not efficient offensively. Miami also, plays pretty slow, and they can be pretty inefficient offensively as well. And the Brooklyn Nets, real quick, they are solid defensively. They are 5th best defensive rated team last 5 games. So like under, And I like Brooklyn in this spot. I didn't bet either, but those would be my recommendations. Brooklyn in the under in this game, and didn't really look into player props. Andrew, going back to the last one, says Atlanta and over. What up, Andrew? Hawks +7. Okongwu double. Ricochet over his 12.5 for Adam. GLB says road teams coming off an ATS loss facing Atlanta are now 9-3 to the over. Going to look into the quarters and halves bets as well. Love it. Brian says, what up, Chris? He likes the Pistons +4. Khalil Webb bounce back game. Coop says, I would need to look at how they do, Coop. I should have played this the other day. We talked about it in the Discord, man. I dropped the ball. Ware was playing against Chicago, and I said, man, he's in a really good spot. I should have bet it then, but I didn't. I think his points plus rebounds was like 23.5 or something like that. Double cash. I would need to see how Brooklyn does against like giving up points, in the paint, and if Ware is going to be able to score. So maybe I'll look into that, add it to my prop list. Now, Ellie on the opposite side, she says she played the Heat. She got a better number at -6. She says, I see the Heat dominate, and I'm on the over 210. So thinking the opposite of what I'm thinking. Let's see. So should Mobley and Allen kill the boards? I would think so, but we know that Jared Allen can be allergic to getting rebounds at times. Almost like, he got his hands behind his back. So I don't bet on Jared Allen rebounds ever. Tallest guy I ever seen to get the amount of rebounds that he gets. Mark says, I'm with you, Nets and under. Haven't pulled the trigger on either yet. Maybe a small play. Yeah, I wouldn't play these big, Mark. Wouldn't play either one of them big, but glad we're aligned there. All right, next game. We got 76ers and the Pistons. This line has moved a lot. 2.5. You see what the numbers were when I made the graphics last night. It was 2.5, and now it's up to 4. You got the Detroit Pistons getting 4 points at the crib. The total is that also moved up from 224 up to 226 now. And we'll start with the injury report. I think the money, in my opinion, moving towards Detroit is predicated on Cade not playing. He is listed as questionable. I think it's an ankle injury that I didn't see in the last game, but he is listed as questionable with a right ankle sprain. Could they give him the day off? They potentially could, especially with him having an All-Star game next week. That'll be big for Detroit as an organization and as a city. Having some representation in the All-Star game. Shout out to Cade, man. I like Cade a lot. And then Tobias Harris is also on the injury report. He's listed as probable, though, with a left calf contusion for himself. Joel Embiid should be playing. Gershon Yabusele is questionable with a knee injury. Not sure if he's going to be out there or not. And then Quentin Grimes, right? They traded for Quentin Grimes. Traded KJ Martin for Quentin Grimes. So we'll see if he ends up making his debut. Also, Detroit, I forgot to add this. They got Schroeder. After being traded 4,297.5 times in the course of 24 hours, Dennis Schroeder has landed in Detroit, and unless they waive him or something, he should be able. This should be his last flight for a while. Where he's actually on a not on a team. So at least it's in the NBA. So Dennis Schroeder potentially plays in this game. Who knows? I'm looking into this one. I don't want to lay points with Philly. That's what I don't want to do. I get it, but if Cade's in, I think I want to take the points with Detroit here. This is not a great spot for Philly. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to fade Philly the other day. It was 6 game and 9 nights for them, and this is 7 game and 11 nights, and they had to travel after losing against the Miami Heat. They have owned the Detroit Pistons. They beat them 9 of the last 10 games. Detroit beat them actually early this season to start the season by 10. They beat them 105-95. They were getting 4 points as a road dog. Won the game outright. Philly did return the favor. They beat Detroit in Detroit as 2-point road dogs. Both of the totals did go under at 219.5 and 216.5. But the way I view Philly right now, the way I view Detroit is not a team that's playing great defense. We know Philly's actually been able to score recently. I don't like what I'm seeing from Detroit defensively. Their defense has been absolutely terrible in my opinion. The numbers don't really show it because I guess they had a pretty good defensive performance in the second half of that game against Cleveland the other day. They are 19th in defensive rating. I actually thought it was worse. They're giving up 118.5 points per 100 possessions. So I don't like that. So I think I would be looking towards over, but I would want Cade to be in, and maybe it's just a play on Cade. I don't think that Detroit has the Philadelphia 76ers have anybody that's going to slow them down. Philly is 5-5 straight up, 6-4 against the number. Back-to-back non-covers against the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks, though. This is the first road game for them after a 6-game straight at the crib. And they're 7-3 to the over. Like I said, Philly isn't playing much defense either. Getting Embiid back should slow the pace down a little bit. I'm always hesitant to pull the trigger on Philly overs with Embiid on the floor just because who knows what we're going to get from them. Detroit, this is 4th straight home game for them too. Back-to-back losses to Cleveland and Atlanta after they beat Chicago and Dallas. Just 5-5 straight up, 4-6 against the spread. So neither one of these teams really covering the number as of late. I lean towards Detroit plus the points though. Just not anything that I put in my pocket. I want Cade in. I'm not betting Detroit without Cade. Definitely need Cade in. Let's see what we're thinking here. Taylor says Nets teams total over versus top defensive rated teams. Under is 8-1. I love to hear that. Love to hear that. Let's see. Man, Houston hurt me last night. You said Minnesota. I should have listened. I like Philly money line today. Yeah, so Adam, so the thing about, just real quick about this, I was thinking about this yesterday. I think I said it in my video last night that it was a terrible travel spot for the Rockets because they were playing 7-game and 11 nights. I know a lot of people don't look into stuff like that, but as the season goes on, those spots are going to start hitting more and more. It was 7-game and 11 nights. They were missing, Fred VanVleet, missing Jabari Smith Jr. Timberwolves were at the rest disadvantage, but they were, didn't have to travel at all. And then I saw Dylan Brooks. It wasn't even Dylan Brooks. It was Naz Reid when he got into it with, I don't even know who it was. Maybe somebody he got into it with. And I said, yeah, Minnesota's going to win this game. And they got going in that for sure. Mark likes Maxey props in this game. Detroit can't guard guards to save their life. So I can see that. G421 says Cade sprained his ankle landing on the player's foot, but he finished the game. I think they play, man. Natalie agrees. She said Pistons money line. She like him in over his points, rebounds, and assists, and Cade PRA. Okay. Fialisa says I heard that Dennis actually doesn't have a house and just lives on the plane because how much he gets tossed around. Yeah, man. Shout out to Dennis, man. Shout out to Dennis. Ken says he played Philly last night minus the 2.5. Okay. Maxey playing like Maxey again. Points over for G421. Okay. So a lot of people liking Maxey today. And sounds like there's some Philly love in the chat. I'm looking towards Detroit, though. Only way I'm looking. Next game up, Raptors and the Thunder. Boy, Lightning and the Thunder. Boy, the Thunder laying 19 now. This was 18, I think it was, up to 19 points. I think it's the biggest spread we've seen all season. Total did go up. So open 228.5, got bet up to 230, and now it's come back 231. Now it's back down to 230. I see 19.5 on the board as well. And it might sound crazy. Only way I'm looking is towards the Raptors. Towards the Thunder. I get it. The Raptors, may come in here motivated, but you look at this injury report, it's a reason why why OKC is laying so many points. So Brandon Ingram did get traded. Pretty sure he's probably not going to play for the Raptors. I know he was kind of ramping up. But he hasn't played since December the 7th, man. It's been 3 months since Brandon Ingram has played basketball. Not sure how efficient or effective he's going to be. I would highly doubt that he's just going to come back and play in this game specifically. Raptors also got PJ Tucker, but RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl are out. So that means that OKC should dominate the boards. Chet Holmgren is off the injury report. Casey Wallace is out. But I just have trouble seeing how Toronto probably gets to 100 points in this game. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to get to 100 points. Not looking towards their team total under, though, but I couldn't talk anybody off that was looking that way. OKC actually beat Toronto by 27 earlier this season. They were laying 10 points in in Toronto. And that game did stay under the total of 227.5. OKC played really good defensively. They get Chet back today, man. You got Chet out there with Isaiah Hartenstein against a Raptors team that's without Jakob Poeltl. Boy, I just watched Toronto get steamrolled by Memphis, and we took Memphis the other day. And large part of it was no Jakob Poeltl. So no Jakob Poeltl, no RJ Barrett. Want nothing to do with the Raptors in this spot. And don't get it twisted. The Raptors have been playing. They have been playing a little bit better, but back-to-back non-covers against the Knicks and the Grizzlies in their last 2 games. They're just 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 after covering 5 straight games. Were the Toronto Raptors. I want no parts of them in this spot, man. OKC actually starting to put it together again. 7-3 straight up, only 5-5 against the number in their last 10, but they've covered 3 in a row. Each one of those being by 31 points against the Phoenix Suns in their last game, 29 to the Milwaukee Bucks, and 34 against the San Antonio Spurs. So they've absolutely, I'm sorry, not San Antonio Spurs, Sacramento Kings. So I know we see this number and we're like, man, 19 is a lot. Then I tell you that they just won by 31, 29, and 34. It sounds a little easier to lay to 19 and a half. This is the first leg of a back-to-back, though. They got the Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow. So when I think about that, it makes me think, well, what about the first half? Just in case they let up a little bit defensively. And I think that's the best play in the game is OKC first half. They are 7-2-1 to the over in their last 10 games. Offense just been humming. They've been clicking really, really well. So because they have Memphis tomorrow, I can see them getting out to a big lead. I know that they've been dominated in the third quarter specifically. I just don't think it's going to be in this one. I think it's going to be a renewed energy with Chet Holmgren being back on the floor. I think OKC first half, the number was 10, I think it was 9.5, 10 when I looked at it earlier today. I think they win. They up by 15, 20 points at halftime in this game. So that's my favorite look in this one would be the team total. Would be OKC first half. I think I see 11.5 on Fanatics right now, but it's not available on a lot of other books. ESPN Bet got a 11.5 at -120. I do think it's about a 15-point lead in the first half. And there's numbers to back this as well, right? So one thing I looked at was OKC. This was based on OKC being a +11 in the first quarter and a +6 in the second quarter if their favors of 15 points or more this season. And like I said, it kind of makes sense. They could potentially let their foot off the gas in the second half with Memphis tomorrow. So if OKC's been laying 15 points or more in the game, they are +11 in the first quarter and a +6 in the second quarter. Put that together, a +17 in the first half are the OKC Thunder if they're laying 15 points or more in the game. And then just in general, right, league-wide trend, teams laying 15 points or more with a total that's less than 230, 6-1 against the spread since the start of last season. The Thunder have been in this spot twice since the beginning of last season. Most recently against the Bucks earlier this week, they were laying 18. They won the game by 29. And then they were laying 17.5 against the Wizards earlier this season. They won that game by 18 back on December the 23rd. So I know it's a big number. Only looking towards the Thunder in this spot. And I think I like first half more than full game. That is the look for myself in this one. Didn't look into player props at all. But Chet is back. He's off the injury report, Adam. We'll see how that goes. Naeli says Raptors covering that half, but the Thunder will close it out. So I'm a live bet this one. Take the Thunder -10 at halftime. Thunder turn up in the second half. I agree with all of that. I'm just not sure how they're going to score the basketball here, though. Like, I get it. The Suns did it to them last game. I don't think you could just do that every single, like, you can't handicap the games in that way, in my opinion, every single time. No, I'm just having trouble. I think with Chet being back, I think the Thunder come out early. I think they come out early. I don't think it's going to be a second half spot, in my opinion. Not with the game against Memphis tomorrow, because I had already thought about that. I know how good OKC has been in the third quarter specifically. Matter of fact, GLB put it on the Let's Bet It show, and he put it in the Discord. OKC third quarter minus the 2.5. I think he got. They ended up closing 5.5, and they were losing to the Phoenix Suns, or I think it was like a tie, and they ended up winning the third quarter by like 30. So I get it, but I don't think it's gonna happen tonight. I did think about that angle though. Trifecta, Jose says OKC 100 points in the first three quarters plus 150. Best bet on the slate, Bitsy says. I actually like this. I'm not sure why they don't get to 100 points in the first three quarters. OKC, where you get that at, Bitsy? Probably on FanDuel, right? First 100 points, first three quarters. I like that a lot. I like that, Bitsy. Appreciate you for sharing that, bro. I think FanDuel has that market. I know a lot of books don't. We got one more game? Yeah, Utah and Phoenix. Game be played in Phoenix tonight. This line was at 7.5 last night. Clearly, as you can see, it's up to 9 now, and the total is moving north as well, up from 231.5 to 233. So updated that real quick. On the Utah side, they will be without Jordan Clarkson. He's been ruled out. Colin Sexton is ruled out. And Cody Williams is already out as well. But John Collins, Walker Kessler, Lauri Markkanen are all in. Keontae George and Isaiah Collier are also in. Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal are both listed as questionable. And then Ryan Dunn, I think, is more probable than questionable. Let me double check. Yeah, he's probable after leaving the game Wednesday's loss with some left ankle soreness. So we just saw. So I start with the seasonal stuff. Phoenix, for whatever reason, always beats Utah. Like straight up, they've actually beaten them 9 straight times, including twice already this season. Phoenix covered the first game in Utah. They beat them 134-126 as 6.5-point road favorites. Game 2, though, they only won 114-106. Phoenix won the game, but they didn't cover. They were actually laying 10.5 points in that spot, which is getting close to where this line is now. 9, I see 9.5, 9 popping up. So the total 7-3 to the over last 10, including 6-1 to the over in the last 7. So a lot of these games have gone over, and a lot of the times, Phoenix has won, but they don't necessarily cover all of them. If the injury, if this goes all the way up to like 10, then I think I'll bet Utah, even as a road dog here. I just like that they have, typically I don't bet Utah because Utah, we never know who's going to play for them. But the injury report is not being manipulated today. With Walker Kessler, John Collins, Lauri Markkanen out there, I think they can keep the game within 10. That's just how I see it, honestly. I'm not laying points with the Suns at the crib. I know it should be a nice bounce back spot for them. They've been absolutely getting steamrolled. First game back home after a 4-game road trip. They're 0-3 in their last 3 games, both straight up and against the spread. 3-0 to the over. The defense has been pretty non-existent. Also just 1-4 against the number in their last 5 games and 2-7 against the spread in their last 7. I don't like the form that the Phoenix Suns are in right now. And it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They got a game against the Denver Nuggets tomorrow as well. So who would you be preparing for more? The Phoenix, the Denver Nuggets coming to town tomorrow, or putting all your attention to the Utah Jazz that you've beaten twice already this season? So it's a pretty simple cap for me. It's Utah plus the points. Watch Utah play really well. I don't think that they're gonna win the game. I don't even think they want to win. Not at 12-37. They just beat the Golden State Warriors at home, getting 6.5 points. So I don't know if they're gonna win, but they are 3-0 ATS in their last 3 games. First road game after 4 straight games, and they also got the first leg of a back-to-back. They got a game against the Clippers tomorrow in LA, I think. Yeah, in LA. So I'll lean heavily. But if Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal play, I'll may even touch 10.5, and I'll probably take Utah. It's probably be a smaller bet because Utah can absolutely get blown out. Don't get it twisted. But I'm not laying this many points, and I hope that makes sense. Real quick, let's just look at the Suns. I didn't do this yet, but let's look at the Suns, and let's look at them as a home favorite. They're 3-11, 3-11-1 against the number, 21.4% on the full season. Last time they covered was January the 9th against the Hawks. They won the game by 8. They were laying 6. Before that, they hadn't covered since December the 3rd when they beat the Spurs by 9 and they were laying 7. And let's just see if they're laying. Let's see if they're laying 3 possessions. So let's just go 6.5. Yeah, 3-11-1 against the number, 21%. They winning by average of 4 points. So I'll take the Jazz here in this spot. I will take the Jazz. Have not bet it yet. I want to see what happens with KD because, of course, I get a better number. But I'll be looking towards the Jazz. Let's see if we have any thoughts here. We'll get into a quick recap. Let's see. Yeah, that OKC third quarter was wild. FanDuel had that mispriced. Shout out to GLB. I hope you smashed it too, GLB. Taylor says he likes Grady Dick, 15 plus points with 30 plus minutes versus teams 20th or worse. Versus spot up, he's over in 9 of his all 9 games. Okay, averaging 22. OKC allows the 26 most points via spot up. So a little Grady Dick love. I can see that. Drop it down, says Raptors team total under 99.5 at plus 190 on DraftKings. Think they don't get to 100. I kind of agree with that. I do kind of agree with that, man. I think there's potential for them to potentially score in the fourth quarter when this is not even necessarily a game anymore. We've seen teams, get strapped up so much in the first quarter, first half that, the second half doesn't even matter. So that would scare me off a little bit, but I hope you cash it, drop it downs. Real Rick says he agrees with Nayeli, thinks that the Thunder are going to struggle early in this game, and then they'll turn it on late. I just don't see it today. I get it. That's what the trends show. I don't see them struggling with the Raptors, though. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see. John Collins over his points, rebounds, and assists for Nayeli. Kessler Walker over his points plus rebounds, and she likes the Jazz plus 9. Like that. Okay, so we agree there. Let's see. Lee says, love the way you run your show, bro. You might be my favorite YouTube capper now. Keep doing your thing, my brother. Appreciate that, Lee. Appreciate that for sure. Now, Lee says, in my opinion, Chris, the best capper on YouTube. He knows his stuff and he backs it with facts. He's honest. Number one. Appreciate you, Nayeli. Appreciate that for sure. Rick says, I usually fade Phoenix and go to sleep. I like that. Like that a lot. Peasy likes the Jazz. Let's see. Jazz plus 9. Booker points for Bryant. Isaiah Collier assists has been money, man. I follow a pretty sharp capper, and he's been like consistently playing Isaiah Collier up and over 6.5 assists, and he's been cashing it. I haven't bet it one time, but he has been cashing. Absolutely been cashing. Sean says Jazz or nothing. Likes Collier points plus assists. Wu says Jazz team total under. Big defensive spot for the Suns here. Okay. He also likes the Raptors team total under. Nayeli says maybe Bill has a good game. If I'm thinking, but no bets yet. Yeah, we'll see if they end up getting ruled in, man. We'll see if they get ruled in. J-Man says book points and assists. He about to give them 35. Give Utah 35 at least. Mark says if KD is in a better number and still Jazz spot. And I agree with that, Mark. I do agree with that, man. Jazz probably get smoked tomorrow. They probably don't even play everybody tomorrow against the Clippers. And the Clippers will probably be in a nice bounce back spot tomorrow after losing to the Pacers today. But today, I think it's a Jazz spot. I do think it's a Jazz spot. I like the way that the market is moving with Phoenix plus the number getting bigger, in my opinion. Do you use Juice Reel? No, I am subscribed to the newsletter though, Adam. I don't know who runs it at all. I kind of stumbled upon it one day and I started reading the newsletter. They send out the newsletter once a week. It's cool. Whoever runs it, I don't even know who runs it, but Juice Reel is pretty cool. I do like Juice Reel. I don't know if they have a website or whatever, but I did stumble across their newsletter, and I'll read it. They send it out like once a week. I'm always trying to read stuff to get better in my own capping process. I never get on here and tell you I know everything, because I know I don't, and I'm always trying to learn and grow. So, just picking up on other people's tendencies and what they're looking at and trying to take it and make it a part of my handicapping process. I've always done that. JD says Collier's been a cash cow. Definitely going to get some props in with him. What up, Burns? Shout out to Richmond, Virginia in the building. What up, Burns? Taylor likes Collier as well. Rebounds and assists is a system play if he gets 30 plus minutes over in 8 of his 10 games, averaging pretty much 14. And Christian going back to Kessler Walker, over his boards, and likes Collier over his assists as well. Okay. And I didn't even know it was an app, Adam. I got to check it out. For sure. I'll download it today and check it out. All right, so let's get into a quick recap, man. We've been on here for an hour. This is not the recap, but if I would have played all this yesterday, I would have made a lot of money. This is what we were talking about yesterday. I think, what is that? 6 plays. I think 4 to 6 cash. So today, what I'm looking at, I didn't even, like I said, I don't have a bet in yet. So I got to go back and look at my notes. So San Antonio, Charlotte is Wemby under for me. Wemby under his 3.5 assists if I'm betting that game. And all of these should be in red because I have not made a bet yet. But I like Wemby under. Like I said, it's CP3, De'Aaron Fox. I don't think Wemby's going to be used to score the basketball today. Wait on the total. But if LaMelo's in, I do like over. It is moving, trending in that direction from 224.5 to 228. So I will put down a over if LaMelo is in, but I won't add that because I'm not sure if he's going to play. I've seen, Coach Lee do some crazy stuff with the injury report, and then, looks like everybody's going to play, and then boom, don't even end up playing. So I'll stay off of that total right now. Cleveland and Washington, I like Cleveland team total up and over what I think is 124.5, 125.5. I do think that they get to that number, whether Washington comes along for the party or not. Even first half team total. And I'm not even going to go look at that number. Also, Donovan Mitchell in this game. D Mitch up and over his 5.5 assists. I showed you guys that with Outlier. And then Milwaukee and Atlanta, same thing, right? Giannis over his. I think his assist was juiced at 5.5, but I like that as well. I do lean over in that game, even though the total is not waiting for me at all. It's still moving north, still going up. So I lean over in that game as well. What else did I have in my notes? Milwaukee, Atlanta. So Milwaukee, Atlanta, Miami, and Brooklyn. Only looking towards Brooklyn in that game. And it's actually line come back down. It was at 7, come back down to 6 now. Still some 6.5. I'm looking towards Brooklyn though. Brooklyn plus the 6.5 and the under. Miami, Brooklyn under 211.5. And also remember this, right? I didn't bring it up on the screen to talk about it today, but if the Brooklyn Nets are at home as a dog, I think they're 17-2 to their first half team total under. So Brooklyn first half does not score the ball if they're a home dog, for whatever reason. Toronto and OKC is Toronto. No. Philly, Detroit. I want Detroit, but I also want Cade in. So not laying points on the road with Philly, man. Not doing that quite yet. I think Detroit can keep that game competitive. It'd only be Detroit plus the 4.5. But like I said, I definitely want Cade in. So I'll wait. I'll be patient. Probably have some more like official plays by the time I do Cal show a little later. Toronto or OKC, I think you still lay to 18, 19, whatever it is. That's the way that I'd be looking. But more specifically, like I said, in my opinion, I think it's an OKC first half minus the 11.5. I think they're winning by 20 at halftime in that game today. I just think that OKC dominate the boards, which is something that they typically don't do. But I do think they're going to be able to dominate the boards with no bigs for the Toronto Raptors. No RJ Barrett. I think Toronto struggles to score. OKC's up by 15, 20 points. And then last but not least, it's definitely Utah. Utah plus the 9. But like I said, maybe you get a better number. This game is 10-10 start time, Eastern Standard Time. So you get a much better number if KD and Booker get ruled in. I think this probably closes at 10, maybe even 10.5. And I want all the points that I can get with a sorry team like Utah. So, but I like that they don't have anybody on the injury report. So a bunch of looks, man. I hope this show was helpful as always. Appreciate you guys for tapping in as always. Enjoy your Friday, man. Check the resources out. They're all linked in the description of the video. I showed you, how to use all of them during the show. I think tomorrow is a bunch of games tomorrow too. So we'll figure out when I'm going live, but I'm looking right now. It's 11 games tomorrow. So a bunch of ways to get paid tomorrow. Weekends can be scary. Only 3 games on Sunday, which is Super Bowl Sunday. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, man. As always, I do appreciate you all for tapping in and enjoy your Friday. And we will be back to regularly scheduled programming moving forward, man. I am out of here. Enjoy your Friday.